All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. I have been missing in action for the last couple of days because I've been working on a project that I'll show you here in a second. And it was my daughter's birthday, one of my daughter's birthdays yesterday. So I kind of took the day off and spent time with my daughter and my wife. So I was out of action for the last couple of days. Let's show you that project that I've been working on, which is pretty cool. So I have this 15-year-old grill that I've been wanting to fix. It wasn't, the buttons weren't igniting anymore, and I found out that had to do with a battery that's way underneath. But this had 15 years of grime, garbage, things had broken. So I decided to completely revamp this and make it brand new. So this is when I had taken it all apart. I got new grates, new flavor bars. I got new gas containers, all kinds of stuff for this. And I made it look pretty amazing. So let's take a look at what it looks like when I finished it. So here it is, completely finished. I shined up all the stainless steel on it. I got new grates, new flavor bars. There's a new bar back here that the gas kind of screws into, and there are these gas tubes that go from here to the buttons. And so everything is brand new. It just looks like a brand new grill. I spent, I think, $165 on parts, a lot of labor, but I even shined up got all the grime off of everything. So it is pretty much brand new and $165 worth it, versus $600. So here it is lit up. So that's what I've been working on. And I've been doing this in 115-degree weather, which is nuts. So I'm one of those do-it-yourself kind of people. I've also been working on getting ready to do another video for those who are interested in backing up their own DVDs, Blu-rays, and even 4Ks. I got a drive. I got mine all set up, and I've been able to back up Blu-rays and DVDs for a while, but I wanted to start doing 4Ks, and it was a lot easier than I was expecting. A couple years ago, it was very difficult. So again, if people show some interest in that, I will put that video together to show you how to back up your own physical media so you can stream it at home. All right, so let's take a look at the DC-related stuff. First off here, we have Blue Beetle has been described by the director as a love letter to the multiple ways of being Latino and an epic celebration of diversity. That's kind of an interesting statement. This is kind of Hollywood's gig right now. It is all about representation and diversity, whether or not the public cares about the characters. I don't think this was the best film to put out, especially with everything that's been going on, but they decided to release it anyway, and it is looking to have a dismal opening. I am boycotting it. I actually want to see this, and I will see it when it comes out, either streaming or on video, physical media, but I am not spending money at the theater to go see this because I am boycotting pretty much everything DC is putting out at the theaters right now, simply because they just don't care about the fan base, and they don't care about the filmmakers making their movies. And it's especially with James Wan and Aquaman 2. I know that movie has been so butchered up that I just have no interest in seeing it. And I've had some people in the comments say I'm not a real DC fan. Yeah, I'm just putting my foot down. I want to see what the filmmakers are trying to put out there, not the studios themselves. And a lot of this stuff, making comments like this, alienates a big portion of your fan base. And so Blue Beetle looks like a good movie. Personally, I think it looks good. I will definitely see this when it comes out for streaming, either on physical media, but I am not going to the movies to go see it. So here were the figures that I was talking about when it came to McFarlane and DC. Now, from what I understand, this is from the Comic-Con, this is a wave that will be coming out in Q4 of this year, and it's supposed to be, McFarlane. Now, I have not been able to confirm that. I do believe that's what this is. I'd be interested in getting, all of these characters. I love Batman the Animated Series. I'm going to do a video one day showing you all the different versions I have on disc and all the toys I have for Batman the Animated Series. And I don't have all of the action figures. I used to have all the villains, but over the years I sold a lot of those away when I was a lot younger. But I do have some stuff, and I'm going to show you guys. I already have a video up of the Batmobile, and I'll put a link to that in this video if you want to see the original Batmobile that Kenner came out with. And I'm looking forward to getting these figures because I already have, I think I've shown photos on here. I do have the Batman and the Superman that they came out with. And I'll actually show you that photo. So here are the McFarlane Batman and Superman from the animated series that I have on my wall. And sorry, it's a terrible picture. I am zoomed in. This is where I have the Batman Lego Technic on the right. I've got the 89 Lego Batmobile right here, and I've got, this is when I did my video for the Michael Keaton version of the Flash Batman. So I've got him sitting there in front of the Batmobile, which is pretty cool. But I'll get a good picture of these as well. I'll probably take a picture of a lot of the Batman animated stuff that I have when I actually do that one video. Here is another video from the Comic-Con. I believe these are the Mondo 1/4. There's also a Man-Bat, which looks freaking amazing. It spans out pretty far. If these are not uber expensive, I will probably pick these up. I really do like the look of them. And, you know, I do like Phantasm, but I do like the second film better. I talked about that. Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze is my favorite Batman villain. Just the tragic story of that villain really does grip me. And I think that's, you know, the animated series was just awesome all around. Now, here is a big rumor that has been floating around since my last video that Warner Brothers is reportedly looking to sell DC. James Gunn's Superman Legacy is to repeat Zack Snyder's colossal, you know, mistake of having too many people, and that's what the story went on to say, basically. But they're packing this film in an effort to make it look like it's a good package to be able to sell off later on through Amazon, Paramount, or Netflix. If anybody picked this up, I mean, it would make most logical sense to go to Netflix, but Paramount does some pretty amazing stuff as well. Amazon is kind of hit and miss with their stuff, but I do like Paramount Plus and a lot of their productions. And obviously Netflix, with Zack Snyder being there, that would be the best. I really do hope DC gets sold because the people in charge, obviously, if you've been to my channel and you're new here, or you're not new here, you obviously know my feelings on James Gunn and David Zaslav. So right after that, this came out from Deadline that James Gunn denies packing Superman Legacy with DC characters to attract buyers. He says he shoots down rumors of Justice League live-action film. So he's coming out. Now, first of all, he may have said this stuff prior to the strike, because if you guys have noticed, ever since the strike came out, there has been nothing. The only two people that went of importance, you know, that people would know in mainstream that actually went to the Comic-Con were Jim Lee and McFarlane. That's it. Those were the only people of note that went because they couldn't go there. I've had some commenters swear that James Gunn said he was going to reveal the rest of the slate at the Comic-Con and that he would be there. And I tried to tell these people, you know, this is the industry I'm a part of. They can't go if there's a SAG-AFTRA strike. Their contracts ban them from even being on social media and communicating with the public if there's a SAG-AFTRA strike. And so this is why he has been completely silent and has not posted anything on Twitter at all. Speaking of the strike, I thought this was very interesting. The Rock is a stand-up guy. If you know him in real life, he's a really good individual. And it says, The Rock has given a historic 7-figure donation to SAG-AFTRA. It's the largest single donation that we've ever received from one individual at one time, and that comes from Variety. This guy fights for the fans. He's got his pulse on what the fans want. Plus, he's just a good guy in real life. Very smart, intelligent guy. And I actually watched a video today of him. There's a girl he's been following for several years on social media who has cancer, and her cancer is back and has spread. And he wanted to meet her, so he invited her and her family to this restaurant that he owns, I guess, at a hotel that he owns or something like that. And he surprised her by bringing out her food. And it was just a touching video. He's just a good stand-up guy. He's a good guy in real life. There aren't very many people in Hollywood that you can say, does as much for individuals and or has their beat on what the fans want more than The Rock does. So those are the photos. It's been, like I said, it's been pretty quiet out there. And so if you're new to my channel, just know that Warner Brothers is still on fire. They are bleeding money, and there is no end in sight. And so things are not going to get better for a long time. Definitely not under the regime that is there. I'm hoping for a positive future at some point in my lifetime, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. I will still be covering everything. I will be going to Superman Legacy if it ever gets released to do a review on that. But these last couple of films, and again, the reason I'm boycotting these last two films is because of Warner Brothers' direction and the fact that they have tinkered with these films. They wouldn't let Blue Beetle do a couple of days' worth of reshoots, and they totally butchered James Wan's, Aquaman 2, and I am not going to support that. I want to support the filmmakers when they get to do their visions. Now, James Gunn is going to be allowed to release his version, but I still have doubts whether that's ever going to happen. The longer this strike goes on, the worse it is for the studio, and things are just not good at this stage, and there doesn't seem to be any end in sight. All right, so there's my update, the DC update for now. I do appreciate the support. If you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you will be notified as I have new videos go up.